It is time. At last, I'm finally back to the fairy song. It only took me like a month. I refer to myself, um, streaming VNs takes a lot of mental energy, and I was very tired after streaming nothing but this game for like a month. But we're back. I've had like I was had like a month off. I just played some local company. We return. Oh, my makes sense. Okay. I've had very little chance to use it, so we'll find out. Beowulf and I have been, and I have breakfast with my grandma the next morning. Then we go for a leisurely stroll around the village. Beowulf glances at the small, squat bungalows of male interest, her fingers like behind her back. The heels of Aunt Leda's shoes clacking against the ground rhythmically with each step she takes. I think Leofi's getting used to my aunt's shoes. She doesn't stumble like she used to, and she doesn't pause to adjust the straps about her foot. I suppose I shouldn't expect as much. I should have expected as much. Leofi, as I learned after our ill-fated duel yesterday, is good at almost everything. Just another nice warm day. Leofi extends her hands above her head, her nut brown hair dancing in the breeze. I'm very mature. Did your face feel alright, my lady? It should be fine. My cheeks are still a little pink from sunburn, but none of my skin is peeling, thank God. A full day has passed and my sunburn doesn't look so very obvious anymore. I spoiled the worst of it with white foundation though. Some of it still peeks through. It's almost like I'm wearing Valentine's Day themed makeup, or that I'm perpetually blushing. Neither of those look really gel with my black shirt and silvery chains hanging from my belt, but whatever. My blonde hair has never gelled with my overall look either, but that's just something I have to put up with. What about you, Leofi? How's your arm? It feels better, thank you, but there's still a certain measure of stiffness to it. I think I need at least another day to recuperate before I venture forth into the forest to find my brother. We very much need to have a talk. Leofi sighs. She must know just as well as I do that future altercations with her brother will be anything other than civil. I doubt they'll exchange any real words, just blows intended to kill. I can only hope Leofi will emerge unscathed. Aren't you at all afraid? Not really. As Edmund's younger sister, it is my duty to restore him to his senses. He always used to scold me when we were younger. Now I must return the favor. You don't need to worry about me. I am strong, my minor injury notwithstanding, and I am determined too. If anybody can help my dear brother, I can. I will not rest until he has been freed from the influence of that vile witch. It's another thing that's been bothering me. Luffy seems certain that her brother is possessed by Lynette, but I'm not so certain. There's so many things we don't know. That church did rather pique my fancy, though. The stained glass windows in particular. It is quite the unusual piece to display in a church. You're not wrong about that. That stained glass window has captured my fancy when I was a kid too. It almost made tagging along to church with my grandparents worth it. Almost. I conjured up all sorts of stories about that window, all the while trying to drown out the priest's slow, unhurried sermon. I gave the knight and the dragon names and made up all sorts of histories from them. The more complicated, the better. The knight was a warrior, or a villain, or even a runaway princess in disguise. The dragon was a vile monster, a misunderstood wretch, or a sorceress, taking on another form, like Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. I watched a lot of Disney films when I was a kid, and it kind of influenced the way I view the world. It's scary what mass media can do to our young, malleable minds. When I was young, I saw infinite possibilities in those two unnamed characters, frozen forever within that window, but I don't think there's anything that mysterious about it. Just a stained glass window of some saint I bet it's depicting some dull scene from the Bible. I don't remember there being dragons in the Bible. Is there dragons in the Bible? How did Google know I was going to ask that? Apparently in Revelations 20 what's it called? I don't remember what that particular publication is called. In Revelations 22, the text calls Satan a dragon. But I believe they're only, like, used as a metaphor. I don't think there's real dragons in the Bible. I'm pretty sure most of the Bible's supposed to be a metaphor. Maybe. To be fair, I used to be Christian, but I've never actually read the Bible. I don't think a lot of Christians have read the Bible. But I'm pretty sure most of this weirder stuff is supposed to be a metaphor. The fuck no. The moment I asked my mother who the figure in that window were, she supplied an answer. All intrigue faded. And then the dragon stopped being mysterious and mutable, filled with possibilities that became part of the scenery. I wonder if that's what my English teacher, Mr. Spindley? Yeah, means when he talks about death of the author. I haven't thought about that window for years since, but Leofi seems rather hung up on it. Maybe it's the key. You thought the scene depicted St. George, and I thought it might be St. Theodore, but who can say that scene depicts either of those stories? It could represent something else entirely. And what makes you so certain? I cannot be certain. That is the worst part. It could be a coincidence, but for some reason that scene looked awfully familiar. Familiar? You haven't cut a dragon before, have you? I am unsure if I'm sure. If I had, I'm sure I would remember, but parts of my memories feels as though they've been shrouded in fog. Maybe this was just an idle fancy, but when I saw that window, it jogged something in my mind. I was thinking maybe, just maybe, if I can learn more about that window. You'll be able to learn more about yourself? That's the general idea, yes. Even if the window's unrelated to me, it may help me learn more about that witch who ensnared my brother. I'm sure she's linked to that church in some manner. Perhaps we all are. The witch and my brother and me too. We are connected by threads like a spider web, and you only find where those threads converge. I wish I could talk to the man who made that window. That may give me some sort of clue. I want to know what he was thinking when he chose to depict such a scene. Sorry, this is a point, but we can't go back in time and ask him. He'll be long dead by now. Unless he's also sleeping in the forest. Plot twist. There's a second person sleeping in the forest, and that's the guy who made that window. And unlike Leofi, most dead people generally tend to stay that way. The glacier... What? Glacier? Be 6 feet underground by now. A skeletal remains the home of withering worms. I know, it is most vexing. I'm sure that sorceress knows something, but I doubt she would tell us. My brother and I are trapped in a spider web, but she must be the spider. I am sure she enjoys watching us struggle. She will not lift a finger to help. But some of the people in the village will know, bro. Some of the people in the village might know. So you want to go around questioning people about that window? Why not? There's a strong sense of community in small settlements like this. I am sure somebody will be more than happy to help. I think you're being a bit too optimistic. Van Chapel is one of those tiny places where everyone knows everyone else, but nobody knows Leofi. She's an outsider. As such, they'll be less likely to open up to her. Who wants to field questions about a crumbling old church to a duo of teenage girls anyway? Probably think we're taking the piss or wasting their time. Perhaps I am, but there is nothing else for us to do today. We cannot go into the forest until we recover, but I do not want to sit idle either. Let us go, my lady. We need to question the good people of this village. There is no time like the present. Wait. It's possible I might find one or two people in the village who know about the window, I guess, but... That window is more modern, was a modern addition to Chapel Church, but it was still constructed several centuries ago. It's not completely improbable that a descendant of the original Glazier would still be living in Fanchapel, but what would they know about their great, etc. grandfather's work? He'll have any notes to be long gone by now. Plus, there's always the possibility the Glazier who made that window wasn't a local of Fanchapel. Window is certainly quality work. Even as a kid, I could recognize that. It seems unlikely someone that talented would just so happen to be living in a tiny village like Fanchapel. But if they were contractors who originally came from Lincoln or York or Louth, if that's the case, the chances are slim they'd have any descendants in this village. They don't even have any descendants at all. Maybe I read about the window, but it's pointless to knock on doors about it. We're not detectives. We don't have the authority to make people answer our questions. Trust me, fucking no one does. It's so frustrating. I'm not even a proper journalist yet, but even just, like, asking questions to people on the street, like, no one fucking trusts me. Like, even just as a student journalist, no one trusts me. I don't know why they are so suspicious. Like, sometimes for class we have to go out and ask the public questions, and nobody will give me their name. I don't know what they think I'm going to do with it. No one wants to give me their name. But then what will we do? What will we learn about that window? I ponder, my arms folded. It doesn't take too long before I think of an idea. My gran knows quite a bit about this village. Maybe she'd be able to help. That's a good idea. She does appear to be a knowledgeable woman. Let us return to your grandmother's abode without delay. I cannot wait to hear what she has to say. I don't know why that wasn't your guys' first idea. I clung to the hope while walking back to Gran's house that she may be able to shed more light onto the mystery of that stained glass window. Certainly she seems to know more about Fanchapel than anyone else. She's the one who started talking about the fairies, which later proved, no matter how loopy it sounded, to be true. And she's the one who gave me that old pendant. If anyone can get to the bottom of this, it'll be her. It should be her, at least. But her response to my query is less than satisfying. That window, isn't the man on the horse St. George? So you think that too? I don't see who else it could be. There are 20 saints known for slaying dragons. Yes, you're right there. I sigh. I'm not learned anything though, it's exactly what my mum always said. In the past I accepted this theory without much thought, because why shouldn't I? At the time I thought it was a perfectly ordinary bit of stained glass. Yofi's interest in it does make me wonder, however. I'm sure there must be more to it than that. There has to be. It's probably a picture of, what's his face? Leofi's brother? Now that's quite the heavy sigh. Gran smells indulgently. Were you up late last night, dearie? You look tired. I always look tired. Tireder than usual? Fed up too? Perhaps you should have a lazy day indoors. Gross. No thanks, I have stuff to do. Stuff? What stuff? That window isn't bothering you, is it? Kind of. I don't really thought about it before, but well. I don't know if when I went to that church yesterday and he was taken by the window, she said it was unusual. And I was taking it for granted. When she pointed it out, I started to think the window was a little strange too. I've not seen any stained glass windows like that in any other churches. Have there been in many other churches in my time? I like trapezing about graveyards as much as the next disaffected teenage goth. They're pretty good places to take photos, okay? But the crumbling old churches themselves don't pose so much interest. My parents aren't religious, so they've never taken me to the local parish. Clearly, she never went to one of those Christian schools that claim they're not a Christian school, but still made all the pupils sing hymns on a Friday afternoon. And would take them excursions to the local church on Easter and Christmas. I'm woefully uneducated when it comes to Christian iconography. If you know who the fuck St. George is, so. So, is this something you're interested in? Leofi? She just fucking teleports. Hi, yes, hello. Yes, indeed. For some reason, I cannot stop thinking about that window. It was very significant, though I am unsure how or why. It's been playing on my mind. That is why Marnie asked about it. She said she has been trying to satisfy my curiosity. She surely is a good friend. Yes, she is, isn't she? My Marnie might wear a lot of black, but she's a sweet girl deep down. Ugh. I think it's maybe covered in a layer of foundation, but I can feel myself blushing beneath it. Quit the sappy stuff, Gran. You're embarrassing me. But why, Marnie dear? I'm only extolling your good traits. I want to spend as much time with you recently as I did in the past, but your father could never praise you enough. Aww. Your marks may not be the best, but you made up for that with your kindness. There are many intelligent people out there, but there aren't nearly as many kind ones. Kindness is in a short supply, I'm afraid. Yeah. I scuffed the floor with my foot. Aww. I guess I'm just a regular bleeding horror. Too nice for my own good. Nonsense, there is no such thing. I don't know. I don't think Helena would agree with this glowing assessment of my character. She called me an interfering busybody, and even worse, the whole Porteous thing. She seemed to think I was jealous of her relationship with for some ungodly reason. She couldn't fathom the idea I might in fact be worried about her. I tried to make her see a reason, being the great friend I am, and how did she repay me? She ghosted me. People are so unappreciative. But she'll come crying to me when things go south, as they obviously will, and I'll have to try very, very hard not to say "I told you so" all condescendingly. That's besides the point, though. I have more important things to worry about right now. You're very intrigued by that window, Leofi. Girl, you already asked this question. Quite. I have always had an interest in old things, and I would love to know more about it. Gran laughs. As an old thing myself, I suppose I'll have to take that as a compliment. It is curious, though. I didn't think a girl your age would take such a shame to that old church. I thought you'd be interested in I don't know. Marty, what are teenage girls like? Well, I don't know. More normal than Leofi is, but I don't think I'm a good representation of your average teenage girl. Oh, shit, I dropped something. Couldn't name a single song on the charts. Not really into reality TV or romantic comedies. I don't get celebrity crushes. Emily Browning accepted. Okay, now we have to Google who this is. Hold on, I need to judge Marnie's taste in women. Emily Browning. Nah, I don't see it. Legrand's posed a pretty tough question. What do teenage girls like? My time spent on Twitter has taught me anything, which, let's face it, probably hasn't. Attractive fictional characters that do evil things and dystopias, maybe? Really? Is that what people like? I never knew. Me neither. It seems we're both out of the loop. Well, she would be. She's a regular girl. Anno Roman. Fuck me.
Anachronistic.
Anachronism. I have no idea what it... You know, we're not about to Googling it. And I am a relic of the past. That must be why we get on so well. Gran laughs. Now, about that window. In all honesty, I never paid much heed. I always assumed it was of St. George, but I might be wrong. I know there were several local legends about Fen Chapel, its forest in particular. I am a fervent believer in fairies myself, so no matter what other people say, but dragons are uncharted territory. I've never seen one of those in my time. Well, that's something to be thankful for. Seeing fairies can be excused as follies of an old woman, and the hazy summer dandelion clocks could easily become fluttering sylphs. But dragons? That's a pretty hefty hallucination. Not if my grandma was hallucinating about the fairies, not after meeting, speaking, and sharing a bed with Leofe. Her existence is too solidly, unwaverably real to call into question. A dragon would be something else, though. I can't help you, but you might be able to find something in the local library. It's small, but I know it has quite the broad selection. Frank used to spend hours there browsing the shelves, searching for books on British birds. I think that's your best bet. The library, of course! Can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. Hard to learn about the world around you. What better place to seek answers than within old books? If the library doesn't have any info about that stained glass window, I don't know what will. It's the only option we have. Thanks, Gran, you're a star. Shall we head out, Leofe? Oh yes, I know little of the so-called library, but I'm very interested to learn about it. Alright, you two, have fun. Don't stay out too late. And Leofe dear? Gran offers Leofe a small smile. I understand coming to a new place must be daunting, but don't lose heart. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. Oh, this game is so sweet, man. Ooh, we got an achievement. I believe we have most of the achievements in the game now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. There's 6 achievements left. The Chapel Library, much like everything else in the village, is small in scale. The old wooden floorboards are warped and uneven, and they creak alarmingly with every single step. Wooden bookcases line the walls, the shelves badly tilted so the books contained within list to one side. A few chairs and tables are strewn about, no doubt for prospective readers, and a handful of colourful beanbags littered the ground. Like the rest of the library, however, these chairs are unoccupied. It's so quiet you could hear a pin drop. The books themselves are arranged in alphabetical order, and the wooden placards sit across the shelves emblazoned with single serif letters, A all the way down to Z. Now that I think about it, I should probably visit my local library. We've got one, but I don't think I've ever been in there. Maybe I should go in, just for shits. There's a whole bookcase and a half devoted to the letter C, mostly Agatha Christie's, with a few carvers and achievers thrown in for good measure. There's less than a shelf devoted to the letter Z, only a couple of Zolas filled beneath it. This library seems to stock mostly classics, but even then there isn't much selection. Books by comparatively modern authors are few and far between. There are the usual suspects, of course. Harry Potter filled under R, and the Da Vinci Code underneath B, Golden Compass beneath P. Gross. Fuck Harry Potter, man. And fuck the bigot who wrote it. Most of the authors crammed into the shelves seem to have died a good 100 years ago. Yeah, that's fitting. Fenchapel's a tiny village, and its graveyard is even more crowded than the streets. Why would the library be any different? A young-looking librarian with sandy hair sits at the counter, her lolling head supported by her hand. She's flipping, not for a hefty hardback copy of the D'Urbervilles, the tattered copy of what appears to be the first book in the Twilight series. Well, if you're a librarian at a tiny village like Fenchapel, I guess you've got to find some way to pass the time. I mean, okay, I've got one of my friends at college. She works at like libraries, and apparently it's a pretty sweet gig. The only thing she complains about are the slow days. Because apparently they're not allowed to go on their phone, and they're not allowed to go on anything cool on the computers. Which is bullshit. But according to her, it's a pretty sweet gig, overall. I know Twilight has a pretty bad rep, but I think I'd pick it over Tom Hardy too. Wow. But the library is small in scale. Leofi seems quite taken aback with it. Sorry, taken with it, rather. She glances around with wide eyes as though she discovered the eighth wonder of the world. Are all these shelves filled with books? It wouldn't be much of a library if they weren't. Incredible. Luffy trails her fingertips along the few multicolored spines beneath the B shelf, passing over Bari, Blyton, Bronte, Burgess. I had no idea there were so many books in the world. Some of them were so very thick too. Luffy's fingers rest on an old dog-eared copy of Boswell's Life of Samuel Johnson. I didn't realize people had so much to say. How did they find the time to write all these things down? Beats me. You want me to beat you? No, I mean, I don't know. It's a mystery to me too. I'd never be able to write this much. But you went to school, my lady. I'm sure you could if you put your mind to it. Maybe I could, but doesn't mean I want to. It sounds like way too much work. I struggle to put pen to paper for 500 words of English essays. 500 words, god, lucky. I gotta write a 1,000 word essay. Or class on Thursday, and I'm not looking forward to that shit. I'm similarly in awe of all the authors nestled upon the shelves, who were able to put pen to paper over and over again, writing reams upon reams of words. Words that hundreds of years later are regurgitated to bored teenagers in stuffy English classrooms by highly uninspired teachers wearing thick glasses and natty cardigans. I think that's how Shakespeare intended his Macbeth speech to be received, but since he's dead, he doesn't have much of a say in the matter. Poor guy. Well, it's not like it matters. Nobody wants to read anything written by a teenage girl. It wouldn't be proper literature. Unless we're talking about Anne Frank's diary, I suppose. What is proper literature, then? Stuff by old dead men, mostly. And maybe a few things by old dead women, if you want to be PC, like Shelley or Austen or whatever. But why are the words of old dead people so highly valued? Mr. Spindley would probably say it's all part of the canon. Mr. Spindley says a lot of stuff, and most of it's pretty dull. Basically, his old stuffy books are. Basically, his old stuffy books are important because a lot of old stuffy people decided they were important. That's all there is to it. I see. Luffy draws away under the B shelf and turns attention to the D's. Nice. I scour across the available section of books curiously. Defoe, Demure, Dumas. Dumbass. This is amazing, though. I had never imagined in all my wildest dreams that I would see something like this. During my era, when people wished to share information, they did so for spoken stories. It was rare to find anybody who could read or write. I never thought that knowledge could be written down on a page, then bound together in a book. It is wisdom that you can hold in your hand and peruse again and again at your leisure. It was an incredible invention. Luffy seems quite taken with the library. To an illiterate peasant girl, a repository of knowledge at this scale must be rather overwhelming. Again, I can't help but think about the modern world I inhabit. Things sure are convenient. Nowadays, we don't even need to buy physical books. There's the internet, iPads, and Kindles. But I say to keep that to myself. Luffy looks overwhelmed enough as it is. Yeah, I will forever be in. I'll forever be in awe that I can just Google shit whenever, at any moment. Just boom, and 0.86 seconds, Google has told me there are 7,500 varieties of apples. I didn't know that I didn't know that like 20 seconds ago. It's wild. But my lady, I am curious. How do you know there'll be any books about Venchapel's history in here? I don't know for certain, but this seems like the best place to check. If there are any books like that, they'd be in the non-section section. Alright then, my lady, please lead the way. You guys sound like we're off exploring the Antarctic. The Antarctic? Oh yeah, I should have known. Since it was born in the Middle Ages, where a large swath of countries and continents have been uncovered, of course she doesn't know about the Antarctic. To her, the modern world must be a confusing place indeed. Never mind about that. It's not like we'll ever go there. It's really cold and far away. Even further away than Norway! Much, much further. How curious. I hardly imagined that. The world really is incredible. Every day I learn more and more new things. I could never have known. Christ sake. If I could stop yawning, that'd be nice. I learn more and more new things I could never have known during my own era. I can see how ignorant I was, but I will now do my best to keep learning. There's nothing in this world more valuable than knowledge. That's a big thing what we came here for. I walked through the library, wending my way through the bookshelves. They're almost tall enough to be menacing, and I have to squeeze my way through them. Squeeze my way between them. It feels like an excavation. It feels like I'm excavating a hidden tomb. It's certainly dark enough though, dusty too. It's surprisingly hard to locate the shelf from after, but at long last, aha! I spot it. The non-fiction section is right at the back of the library, crammed into a small corner that juts awkwardly from the side of the building like a tumor. It's comprised of 3 warped wind shelves, each pressed against the side of the wall. A small table crammed between the 3 of them. I guess that's so people can sit down and flip through the books in peace. This way. I beckon Leofi to follow me as I pick my way through the slalom course of ill-placed bookshelves. We're almost there, but with every step I take, the air seems to get colder and colder. Resident clothes feels like ice against my thigh. The sensation, though uncomfortable, is rather familiar. I recognize it. It feels just like I did when... This bitch! Well, we meet again. A woman is sitting on the edge of the wind table, hemmed in by bookshelves, one leg crossed over the other. She's attired in a dark gown, a hood pulled over her face, and her eyes are masked in shadows. But I can see a silver sliver of pale skin peeking beneath her cloak. Naturally, I know who she is. There's nobody else it could be. Lynette. So you remember my name? I am flattered. I feared you would call me that witch or that temptress or any number of other less pleasant appellations I have been given over the years. Referring to another by their name makes them appear more human. But some I have met during my life would doubt whether I am truly human at all. They've had it easier to make a monster of me. I suppose it is easier to hate those we refuse to regard as equals. Is that not the correct, dear Leofi? You! Luffy shoots Lynette a piercing glare. Her eyes are icy, but her tone is even more glacial. Do not address me by my name, you cowardly witch! You have no right! You see what I mean? Lynette smiles thinly. Luffy does not like me. As such, he refuses to acknowledge me. It is nothing I am unaccustomed to, but being rejected always stings. As a knight, you should be more courteous, Luffy. I am only courteous to those who deserve my respect, and you have yet to earn it. I doubt a woman like you could ever. I will never ever trust you as long as I live. Which unfortunately may not be much longer if you're unable to discover the truth. Was that a threat? No, would I do something so gauche? While I am confident in my skills, I have no desire to cause you pain. That is the last thing I want. That's what you say, but I know what you're really after. And what would that be, pray tell? You want to humiliate me. You're the one who cursed my brother, and now you seek to bring about my ruin too. Luffy's fingers twitch at her side. I think she's trying to quell the urge to summon her sword from the ether. Challenging Lynette outside the church was all well and good, but there was nobody around, and that isn't the case now we're in the library. The librarian is still sitting at the counter, and though she can't see us from this angle, she can hear us. If a fight broke out, she'd be the first person to hear about it. Luffy's immense hatred for Lynette is outweighed by her desire to keep the peace, and in the end, she does nothing. Oh dear, how depressing. I can see my words cannot reach you at all, which is a great pity. I only came to give you some advice, though. I must say I never expected you would go to a library. I didn't know that you could read, Leofi. So what if I cannot read? Marty can, and she can help me. Besides, that's none of your business. Everything you do is my business. We're from a similar period, you and I. We are connected by fate. Our existence is interwoven, whether you realize it or not. It seems strange to me that you should rely on these dusty old books to jog your memory, when the truth behind who you are staring you in the face. And what's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Only you should learn to open your eyes. Things needn't be as complex as you think. I have no idea what you're talking about. If that is so-called advice you wish to give me, I do not think very much of it. You are just trying to fill my head with riddles. Pardon me for confusing you then. Perhaps I should be more direct. These books cannot help you. You already know the truth. Cast your mind back. You will find the answers there, I'm sure. Unless you are even more hopeless than I feared. Lynette giggles. Her mouth curves into a cruel smile. Now, you had best hurry, Leofi. You only have one more day left until the full moon. If I still do not know the truth by then, I'm afraid it may be too late for you, and me, and your dear brother too. What about my brother? What are you planning to do to him? I'm not planning to do anything. Chaos will happen on its own accord if you are unable to divest yourself of the falsehood you have cloaked yourself in. For your own sake, my dear, and all those you care about, do not lose sight of who you are. With that eerie message, the air shifts about Lynette. Intense cold pierces my flesh, and all the way down into my very marrow, and then... Wait, come back, you wicked witch! Stop trying to confuse me! Why don't you tell me what you know? Lynette disappears. She disappears so completely, it's as though she never existed at all. Once Lynette leaves, I focus all my attention on searching for a book that can shed some light on Fanchapel's history. Even in Fanchapel's own library, however, this proves to be quite a challenge. There's a lot of history books crammed into these warped shells, but they're devoted to large topics and whole epochs of history: the Roman Empire, the Industrial Revolution, World War I. There are a few slim books about smaller, more digestible subjects, among them a brief treatise to Google. I do love this writer, author, not sure what the term is. I do love her stuff, but she does love using a bunch of big words I have to Google. Let's see. Oh, treatise. It's just pronounced treatise. Now a brief treatise about the importance of manners, and a biography about Florence Nightingale, but I can't find anything about Fanchapel. It felt just so small and insignificant it may as well not exist. You'd think for a village that dates back to the 12th century at least, there'd be a bit more information about it here, but apparently not. At some point the librarian goes to brew herself a cup of tea, then she returns to her post. She's holding a pink and white striped mug in one hand. She nods at Leofi and I as I pass by the non-fiction section, then round a corner and vanishes from view. But she's still sitting at her desk, one leg folded over the other, thinking for twilight while sipping her tea. I, meanwhile, am beginning to lose hope and my concentration with it. I also scanned through dozens of promising looking books, but I've yet to turn up a single lead. The Encyclopedia of Saints mentions St. George and St. Theodore, but Fanchapel was conspicuously absent. I thought I had some luck with British mythologies, but though the Lincoln Imp put in an appearance, Fanchapel is not in attendance. This is hopeless. It's a complete waste of time. On the verge of giving up when I spot a photograph in a slim book that looks familiar. The photo was taken on an overcast, cloudy day, and the scene depicted is blurry with mist. Couldn't they have chosen a better day to take a snapshot? But I can make out almost all the important details. I can make out all the most important details. There's a few crumbling graves, their tops peeking out in the fog, a church tower leaning to one side, and a stained glass window that depicts a knight charging towards a fierce dragon. This must be it. I finally found it. Finally found something. Leofi, who was starting to nod off, jumps. What is it? Just look at this. I slide the book across the table, then think better of it. The front of the book is awfully small and cramped, and even if Leofi could make out the individual letters, she wouldn't be able to read them. I have to read it for her. I clear my throat, then begin my impromptu recital. Of all the tall tales across England, there's one in particular which stood out to me. Not just because of its astounding nature, because of its depiction in the stained glass window see figure 27. This church is situated in the small village of Fanchapel, 20 miles south of Grimsby. The church was constructed in the 1300s. The church was constructed in the 1300s, though the window itself was added in 1423. To the untrained eye, the window appears to depict St. George's famous fight with a venom-spewing dragon that poisoned the countryside of Selene in Libya. If you'll ask the locals who live in Fen Chapel, however, they can give you a slightly different account of the window's origin. According to my sources, this scene depicts not St. George's heroic deeds, but those of a lesser-known knight who lived in Mercia before George's legend rose to prominence. While the identity of this knight is unknown, it is believed that the dragon in this image once lurked, not in Libya, but somewhere rather closer to home, Fen Chapel's very own forest. The dragon, or so the story goes, emerged during the full moon to wreak havoc upon the settlements which were built around the forest. Many brave knights tried to fell the dragon, but all failed. That is, until one uncommonly young knight rode out upon his noble steed to end the wicked dragon's reign of terror. The knight was innocent and inexperienced, and the people did not believe he could defeat the fellow monster. They said the knight was being foolhardy, and that he would be torn to pieces by the dragon's sharp claws if he did not listen. This knight, young though he was, believed in himself and was determined to protect the people at any cost. An arduous battle of endurance ensued, but the young knight was eventually able to best his foe, though his victory came at a price. The dragon caught the young with its sharp claws for the last vestige of life drained from its body, and so took the valiant champion down with it. People were so grateful to the youth, they resolved they would never forget his heroic sacrifice. He was laid to rest deep in the forest, and stories say that he remains there to this day. Centuries later, the people of Fen Chapel commissioned a stained glass window, so they could commemorate the life of this legendary young knight, whose tale remains widely unknown. The windows were crafted by talented glazier John Fortin, a resident of York, who was also responsible for the impressive stained glass window in the renowned York Minster. It's impossible to say when this oral tale was first told, but it has resulted in a beautiful stained glass window crafted by hands of true artisan. It is for this reason the church in Fen Chapel has become such a beloved monument. I'm sure it will endure in time, captivating hearts and minds for many years to come. I called it. It's definitely her brother. So, Leofi, what do you think about that? Luffy frowns. It's hard to know whether that tale is true or not. It is only a story after all, but I do wonder. Was there really a dragon in the forest? If that's the case, then the knight who rode out to protect the people and in doing so died. Luffy points toward herself, her fingers trembling. Was that me? I am a knight, and certainly I was found in this forest, but I was only sleeping. The centuries passed me by like a dream, and yet... Luffy pinches the inside of her wrist with her thumb and forefinger. I feel corporeal enough. Other people can see and hear me, and I can feel pain. I am not dead, but perhaps I should be. Luffy's brow furrows. She crosses one leg over the other, then recrosses it, her fingernails tapping out an anxious rhythm against the tabletop. Maybe this part of the village's curse. Did it bind me to this world, even after my supposed death? Perhaps it bound my brother here too. Pardon me. The witch said we needed to learn the truth before the full moon, and the story in this book says a dragon only appears during the full moon. That's quite a coincidence. So the dragon is still alive, but the story said that it died. Then again, I am a knight, and I still live on. The dragon could have survived. Our fates must intertwine with magic, must be interlinked with magic. That could be it. This dragon may have woken up when you did. You both revived at the same time. The full moon will destroy the village, and you're the only one who can stop it. If this were a few days prior, I'd cringe at all the weird, fanciful language spilling out of my mouth. But even my loopy Aunt Leda believes in lost souls, curses, or evil spirits. Okay, no, scratch that. She attends seances, she must believe in the spirits realm, or to some degree, but dragons? I'm just going a step too far, even for her. Does she think I was crazy if she could hear me? I know I sound crazy, but... I think you may be onto something, my lady. That was a very quick, deductive thinking. If I am tied to this dragon, I stand to reason it would awake alongside me. It would be seeking revenge, no doubt, after I killed it, and if this is the case, then we truly have no time to spare. I don't know how dangerous this dragon is, or if it has truly been reborn, but I cannot let this stand. It'll be full moon tomorrow. That is when I must strike. I will go into the forest and I'll defeat that dragon. I do not have any other option. Ooh. Luffy and I lie together in the same bed that night. She's fast asleep already, her chest rising and falling in slumber. I'm jealous she can sleep so easily, just isn't fair. I feel exhausted, but rest won't come no matter how tightly I squeeze my eyes shut. As I am right now, sleep feels about as obtainable as a perfect 100 on one of Miss Partridge's math exams. This freaking sucks. The seconds tick by, then minutes. I've been lying in this bed for over an hour, but nothing happens. I'm wasting my time. Screw this. Groggy, disorientated, I throw the covers back and get to my feet. Freed from my confines, I feel like a mummy rising from his coffin, ready to wreak destruction upon the world. That isn't my job, is it? The duty belongs to the dragon that lurks deep within the forest. If such an incredible mythological monster really does exist. At this point, who knows? It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I walk to the window and draw back the curtains, then I stare up at the night sky. It's pitch black out there, stars twinkle in the sky ominously, framing the moon, which looks alarmingly full. Can't help but turn Lynette's words over my head like a mantra. You had best hurry, Leofi. You only have one more day until the full moon. If you still do not know the truth by then, I'm afraid it may be too late for you, and me, and your dear brother too. What do you mean by that? She sounded civil enough, but I could hear the veiled threat beneath her words. Was she talking about the dragon, or was she referring to something else? It's impossible for me to tell. If only she didn't speak in riddles. It'd be so much easier for me to wrap my head around all this. I draw back from the window, my heart pounding rapidly against my ribcage, breathing out in irregular rhythm. I'm not afraid, am I? Being stupid, Mari. Don't let this woman's words get to you. What does she know anyway? It's not like she's a seemingly all-seeing, all-knowing witch or anything. I turn back to the bed, ready to slip once more beneath the covers when I pause. I can't get over how adorable these two are. My eternal emotions must have roused Leofe, because she's sitting up, hands resting upon her lap. Unlike me, she looks impossibly pristine after waking up from her slumber. My heart clenches inside my chest, inside my breast, but this time I know fear isn't the sole culprit. Leofe, you're awake. Indeed I am, well spotted. Alright, I'm sorry for putting it the obvious. I wouldn't disturb you? Oh, you needn't worry about that, my lady. But I should have been more considerate. I didn't mean to wake you. You've always been plenty considerate to me. There really is no need for you to fuss on my behalf. As your knight, it is my duty to protect you, and moreover... Luffy smiles bashfully. I wasn't actually asleep. Huh? You weren't? Unfortunately, no. I tried, of course, but alas, it was not to be. But you were so still. You didn't even move a muscle. Yes, well, I thought that you were asleep, but I didn't want to disturb you. Your under eyes are dark enough as it is. I would hate to to contribute to your fatigue. My under eyes? Yes, they always look so very dark, like bruises. They stand out quite alarmingly against your pale skin. Oh, those aren't those aren't really dark rings, it's all makeup. Makeup? Yeah, like, eyeliner and eyeshadow. It's to get that classical gothy smoky eye look that all the rage on YouTube. Not as good with my makeup or as adventurous as some YouTubers out there, but I'm getting there. I want to ring my eyes with so much makeup that they look like hollow, empty sockets. It's always been a dream of mine to look like a lich. Luffy ponders, one hand beneath her chin, stroking her non-existent beard. I cannot say what this YouTube is, but I'm understanding you correctly. Does that mean you chose to look as though you have not slept in over a month? Cold, girl. Pretty much, yeah. But why? I do not understand. There's nothing to understand. I just like the way it looks, that's all. If it wasn't for all this makeup and these black clothes, I'm not entirely sure who I'd be anymore. I base so much of my identity on my appearance, it almost feels like my soul itself is tied in chains and torn fishnets. That probably sounds a little sad though. Atlanta said it's bad to place ourselves into neat little boxes and predefined labels, so I've always labeled her as a weirdo myself. It's more to me than being a goth. That single signifier is woefully lacking when it comes to describing my thoughts or my goals, my fears. But it's a comforting crutch to lean on. If I had to describe it in a way you'd understand, then maybe I could call these clothes my armor? Armor? Yeah, wearing black and putting on this makeup, it helps set me apart a little from everyone else, and it gives me an identity. You see? Since I've said so much already, I may as well tell Leofi my whole life story. What have I got to lose at this point? I'm fussed about how cute I was when I was little. She loved my long blonde hair and my blue eyes, and she dressed her up in nice clothes like a doll. She always wanted a girl, and she was really overprotective. She loved me a lot, but she was kind of stifling. She touched us whenever I broke a nail or tore my clothes. In the end, I think I resent her. Just a little. I wanted to break away from her influence when I her influence when I got older, so I decided to reinvent myself. Got rid of my old clothes and started wearing black pretty much exclusively. Started experimenting with my makeup too, though my first few attempts looked awful. When my mum saw my new look, she was livid. I think she thought I was trying to spite her, but I wasn't. It does sound a little bit you were trying to spite her. I just wanted to be my own person, and I've always thought black clothes would go. There isn't much more to it than that. So that is why you started to paint your eyes black? Yeah, I'm still not sure if that's what I really want to be, but... Well, I'm only a teenager. I'm sure I'll figure that out later, but for now it's good enough. Dressing like this is cozy, and it makes me feel stronger and braver than I am, and it's like a front, I guess? Does that make any sense? Lovey ponders for a few moments, then she smiles. If you want to look like that, then I suppose I cannot judge you. I was often judged so during my era for having the audacity to wear men's armor. That sounds uncomfortable. I suppose in that sense, we have something in common. We might be from different eras, but there are many similarities between us. I wonder if that's why we get on so well. I must admit I am quite drawn to you, my lady. Lily shuffles a little closer to me. She reaches out gently, taking my hand in her own. Tomorrow I will venture forth into the forest. I'm sure it will be dangerous. There's a chance I may not come back alive. And let me come with you. I beg your pardon? I want to come with you. I let you wander off into the woods on your own, to face a dragon. I want to be there too, to provide moral support. But my lady, you might get hurt. I know not if I will be able to protect you. I have only known you a little while, but you are very precious to me. If you were injured, I would be beside myself. Leofe. My cheeks feel warm and my heart flutters uneasily in my chest. She's so close to me I can feel her breath across my cheeks. It smells faintly minty like toothpaste. I really do care for you. You're the one who woke me from my slumber, and you let me let me into your life, though you had no obligation to do so. You have been unfailingly patient with me despite my shortcomings. Though I was determined to act as your knight, it was you who led me through this strange new world. If it were not for you, I would be completely lost. I appreciate you a good deal. That's why I cannot let you come with me. I want to come with you. It's not though we've been through a lot together, and I can't let you go face a monster without me. I'm going to the forest with you tomorrow, and that's final. But my lady, it'll be too dangerous. I cannot promise that I'll be able to protect you as I did before, and our enemies are too numerous to count. As far as felt of strange creatures, pixies and fairies and goblins all lurk in the shadows, and they are not particularly fond of humans. We were lucky to escape with our lives last time, but we may not be so fortunate now. That's all the more reason for me to come with you. Look, I know there's nothing I can do to help you. I can't fight, and I don't know any magic. I'll just be a burden, really. But come with you, I'll get out of your way. I know this may sound selfish, but I still want to encourage you to keep going. We've been through so much together, I don't want to risk losing you now. Can't let you cast me aside. Oh, Marnie. So, oh, it's the first time she gives her name. Luffy's eyes soften. Are you sure I cannot deter you? No, I won't let you leave me. I see. You really are stubborn. Then again, I would expect nothing less. Then in that case, I shall be your sword and your shield during our upcoming battle, fierce though it may be. I will not let any harm befall you. You mean too much to me. I like you, Marnie. I like you a good deal. I do not want to let you go. Leofe. I glanced at the forest shyly and my eyes half-lidded. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that was a pretty romantic speech. I'm sure it has more of an impact than the long soliloquies I had to listen to from Romeo and Juliet. But maybe that's because it was my grumpy English teacher, Mr. Spindley, who read the speeches out to me. Not just me, that'd be creepy. He read to the whole class, Helena included. I didn't pay too much attention at the time. I know I'd have to write about those speeches in English GCSEs, but I could not be bothered. Spent most of English giggling with Helena while the rest of my classmates popped gum and passed notes. It wasn't a very romantic atmosphere. Those days in my dreary English class feel very far away now, though. It's just Leofe and I in my aunt's quiet moonlit bedroom. And she's so close to me I can feel her breath on my face. I can feel my face turning pink. Luffy's words are sincere. She means them for me and for me alone. I can tell she cares about me. But I'm sure I'll be able to tell her as much, even if she remains. I'd be sure I'll be able to tell as much even if she remained close-lipped. Something about the way she looks at me that makes me melt. Luffy can't read, but her feelings are written all over her face. How she can understand my feelings too. I want her to know how much I care for her. Maybe that's why I lean in. Or does she? I'm not sure, but I soon fade my eyes closing. Our fingers intertwine and then... Yeah, let's go! The lesbians! Oh, they're adorable. I love them. Our lips meet. It's my very first kiss, but it feels completely natural. It's almost like the conclusion to a fairy story. She said the thing. And the knight took the princess in her arms, and they lived happily ever after. This isn't the end of my story. Our great trial is yet to come. But tomorrow the two of us will venture into the woods. There, Leofe will have to fight for her life. Perhaps that's why Leofe pulls me closer towards her, her splayed fingers buried in my hair. This will be our last chance to spend time together. I want to savor this moment. Who knows what will what the coming of dawn will bring. Alright, and I think that is a perfectly dramatic place to end off today's stream. I've missed this game. It honestly, that scene in particular reminds me of Heart of the Woods, but way less. It's a way less dark story than Heart of the Woods. Like Heart of the Woods was depressing, and like you're genuinely terrified going into the final battle. Like there's just like a layer of dread over the entire story. But this is a lot later. I mean, the offer is what's her name again? Abby Haim. Yeah, her stories are a lot less. I'm sure she can. I'm pretty sure she has written some darker stuff, but this story has a lot of a lighter tone than that. Like it's a kinetic novel, and it's not really that dark. I'm not really I'm sure it'll be an exciting ending, but I'm not genuinely worried that anyone dies, you know? They're not gonna kill the main characters or anything. It's still an enjoyable game, man. But I feel like I don't know, the plot doesn't feel focused enough, I guess. Like, we've had this overarching theme so far. This overarching story about, like, the woods and stuff. But then Leofi gets injured and we spend, like, hours of game time dicking around in town. Which is cute. I like the slice of life stuff. But it I don't know. I guess it feels like the visual novel equivalent of video game protagonists have to go stop the big bad. They spend 20 hours dicking around collecting people's chickens and delivering mail for random NPCs. I mean, there's a story reason for them dicking around, but I don't know. It just feels tonally inconsistent. From we have to go stop the big bad, but after we've spent 4 days of slice of life, walking around with Leofi in town. I'm enjoying it though, and I'm dead excited. I'm not sure when I'll next get to stream. Maybe tomorrow. Definitely Sunday. But I'll see you guys then. Bye.